बहुत मजा आएगा and I'm looking forward to it. Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. This is Ishan Isaac with Ishan on air, live on the radio airwaves in Houston, Greater Houston area, and all over the world through social media. And what did you do last week? Well, I hope you did something productive, but that's not what Elon Musk and Trump administration is thinking for all the federal employees, because the email was sent out. And these are the kind of things that we have to especially stay focused with, because remember, a lot of people out of love, out of respect for the country, and out of patriotism, they serve as a civil bureaucrat. Some choose to go into the government, and yes, there would be some folks like in life, people take advantage of situations, and some people they don't. But majority of the people, they do follow the rules, and there is a process in place. But that's not what this administration is thinking. And in fact, it's very interesting based on some of the senators, Republican senators, are also asking this question. And I would like to quote especially the senator, and his name is John Curtis. He's a Republican from Utah. And he said on media, especially on CBS News, Face the Nation, and I quote him. He said that he supports the Trump administrations to reduce government spending, but that should take a more humane approach. He said, I quote, "If I could say one thing to Elon Musk, it's please put a dose of compassion in this," unquote. And obviously, he's a senator, and imagine the kind of words he's using. Please, please, I'm pleading. The richest man in the world, because we are all at your mercy. You can do whatever. And every Americans, including all those who are watching, and maybe myself as well, our information is with Elon Musk, and he owns Starlink. He can cut off anyone's internet, especially talk to people in Ukraine, because that's what he can do, and talk to people in Russia. So imagine the kind of power, people who have voted for Trump has actually given to a billionaire who stands right next to Trump in the Oval Office and says whatever he would like to say, because he is rich, he is not accountable to anyone. And since some people, when they have wealth, they want power as well. Great example. And then what is senator is talking about? Does he think that we are just naive? Does he think that we don't know what's going on in the world? But anyway, I'll quote further. He also said that quote, "These are real people." Oh wow. Anyway, he didn't say that. "These are real people," I quote Senator John Curtis. He's saying on CBS News, Face the Nation, quote, "These are real people. These are real lives. These are mortgages. It's a false narrative to say we have to cut and you have to be cruel to do it as well. We can do both," unquote. So can I ask this question to Senator John Curtis? Senator, where were you when Twitter, former Twitter and now X, when he laid off 75% of the people, and in fact fired somebody on another social media platforms person, obviously, who is very famous as well, and right on air, he basically fired one of the managers in management, senior management, and the kind of humiliation, right? And she was, and you can see this on YouTube, and she was like, she was stunned. But yes, this is full power. I am the board chair. I am the CEO, so I can do whatever I feel like doing. And you're fired, right? During a live program. So that was on Joe Rogan's program. Nowhere close to Reagan. Reagan still had some, I guess, leadership. So that's, again, freedom of speech. Hopefully we will have it, until the end of this administration, if they stay, in power for the next 3 to 4 years. So here is another thing from a management perspective. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie said, a Republican, he said the email was quote, a complete overstep, unquote, that would be defeated in court. He also said, from a management perspective, you can see what a clown car this is right now, unquote, Christie said during ABC News the week. So this is not just, there's more to it. Let's get more into some fun stuff. Well, I don't know if we should call it fun, but I think we should. So here's the Cuban and here's a Russian. That was another picture, and all the Saudis in the back. Yeah, exactly. So what can I say? I think the picture is always worth 1,000 words. And here's the Trump administration's first 100 days. What a chaotic presidency based on any, what you call a rule book or any kind of measure, based on perception, based on the firing spree, the Obamacare, the Project 2025, which they denied it. It's completely in motion. Talk to all the experts. And then J.D. Vance, a day after, Vice President urged, German leaders to end their, what you call isolation, and, how he was supporting the Nazis. Well, this is all factual. It's happening as we speak. And here's another picture. As U.S. and Russian officials meet, talks are set to go beyond Ukraine. So obviously set to go beyond Ukraine, and President Zelensky, he is also very upset. President Trump thinks that his approval ratings are not there, and that's another issue for another time, but that's something we need to stay focused and put our focus on. See you in court. So a very interesting debate happened between a governor, a Maine's governor, and then at the same time with regards to the sorry about that. With regards to Maine's governor, he said Trump and Maine's governor spar over trans athlete order. So this is where, during remarks at a governor's event Friday, Trump asked Maine Governor Janet Mills if the state was going to comply with the order. Mills replied that she would comply with, quote, state and federal law, unquote. Well, quote, President Trump said, well, we are the federal law. We are the law, unquote. Trump said, quote, you better do it because you are not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't, unquote. Mills then replied, quote, see you in court, unquote. Then obviously Trump being Trump, quote, good, I'll see you in court, unquote. Trump said, quote, I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you will be in elected politics. I mean, who is surprised? I mean, obviously, what can I say? After the exchange, Mills released a statement saying, quote, if the president attempts to unilaterally deprive Maine, that's the state, school children of the benefit of federal funding, my administration and the Attorney General will take all appropriate and necessary legal action to restore that funding and the academic opportunity it provides. The state of Maine will not be intimidated by the president's threats, unquote. This is a sitting governor and not from the 51st state. Not from the 51st state. Sorry, my Canadian friends and my dear friends up north, strong and free. You hold on to your fort. You never know. One day, maybe 10 years, 20, 30 years, or during this administration, you may become 51st state, but we'll get to it. And that's all, jokes aside. So getting to that, yes, Canada beat US 3-2 in overtime to win the contentious four nations face-off. So that was an interesting one. And imagine there are these two neighbors, they call it friendly neighbors. More than $1 billion of trade happens. More than $1 billion of trade happens every day. And now we have antagonized and made 40 million Canadians our enemies. And this is another interesting thing that has happened. So before this game, that did not deter Mr. Trump from repeating his taunt before the championship game. Remember, this is real life, right? This is not a reality show going on. This is not a comedy show going on, although some people say that it's a comedy show. Some people say that it's a sometimes dark humor, dark comedy, or drama. So whatever you want to call it, a lot of late night comedians from Stephen Colbert to all the others, they're having a blast. So if you're a stand-up comedian, obviously we're having a great time. So here, sometimes I also feel like I've become a stand-up comedian when I'm reading very serious news. So, quote, Trump said, I think they have to become the 51st state, unquote. He said during a speech on Thursday in Washington, quote, and you heard the people booing the national anthem. Of course, they'll boo the national anthem when you are going to humiliate any country, any sovereign country's citizens. So they think that they're going to cheer our Star Spangled Banner's national anthem. But that's Trump for you, right? Deranged type people say these kind of things. That's what psychologists are saying. So I'm just quoting them. And you heard the people booing the national anthem, but I think ultimately they will be praising the national anthem, unquote. Absolutely, obviously, when you put, gun on them, and if, who knows if or when they become the 51st state, then they will have no choice to maybe say that and not boo the national anthem. But this is a very interesting thing that why is the administration saying this? And then for fans across North America, this was after the 2014 Winter Olympic matchup between the two teams, and then the famous Sidney Crosby goal in 2010, I believe it was 2010, during the Vancouver Olympics. When he scored the goal. And then obviously the prime minister, or the governor of 51st state, as Trump would like to call him, Justin Trudeau of Canada, said, quote, you can't take our country and you can't take our game, unquote. So this is obviously they want to rub it on our faces, and they did. And I think they have every right to rub it on our faces. You can't take our country and you can't take our game, unquote. That's Trudeau, the PM of Canada, according to Trump, the 51st state of United States governor, said this. So anyway, even if it was a 51st state governor, obviously what a humiliation, right? For the president to hear this coming from the state of Maine's governor. That was a real exchange. I'll see you in court, and cannot be intimidated by the president's threat. That's what Maine's governor said. And then in 2024, then President Joe administration now switching on to Title IX, as including protection from discrimination based on gender identity and sexual orientation. A federal judge struck down those rules in January, and Trump, on his first day in office, issued an executive order stating that the U.S. would only recognize biological sex. Students in New Hampshire are now challenging Trump's order. So this is another social issue and an issue with regards to this whole idea that there are only two genders, which obviously science back to differ from that. But who believes in science in 2025? Unfortunately, that's the year that we are in, 2025, and today is February 23rd. And this is where now the fight is with the Pentagon. Trump ousts Joint Chiefs Chairman, other leaders in major Pentagon shakeup. So as you can see on the screen, Trump administration has fired the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and other senior officers on Friday. So this is fresh off the press, and this is another area where, as at Pentagon Town Hall this month, Hegseth said diversity initiatives have, quote, served the purpose of dividing the force as opposed to uniting, unquote. Well, that's what Defense Secretary has said, the military. So somehow this whole diversity initiative has divided the military. That's what DOD Secretary has said. And he also said, quote, the single dumbest phrase in military history is, our diversity is our strength. So what is it? Are we living in just one race country? No other race exists except just one race? This is beyond any comprehension, beyond any reasonable understanding to people who are reasonable. But then ask all the Republicans and all those who have voted for Trump, ask them these questions and have fun with them. That's all I'm going to say, because everyone I've talked to and all of my friends who have voted for Trump, I have not met a single person who is not regretting that vote. That's right. This is called buyer's remorse, as in free enterprise system, we call it, right? And the buyer's remorse, especially, or the voter's remorse, is worse for any country. Well, this is what's happening in Trump's America. And then obviously this lady, as you can see, the first woman, the war on women continues. And I'm sorry to all the ladies, to all the women, and all those women who actually voted for Trump. Well, congratulations. The first lady who got into the top office as the admiral of U.S. Coast Guard, got fired as well. Why? Because, yes, you said it right, she's a woman. Because this is America in 2025, and this is the fellow who is actually a retired general, and he's going to become the chairman of Joint Chiefs. And don't ask me, ask the president that why he has chosen him. This is not the first time this has happened, and history always repeats itself. JFK did the same, and I don't know why President Trump released JFK's classified CIA reports. You gotta go ask him. And now history is repeating itself. JFK did the same, as you can see on the screen. And now this is the second time where a retired person, and this fellow has no combat, no operational experience. He has never been in charge of combat, according to New York Times, according to Washington Post, according to all the major news outlets from Reuters to BBC to what have you. Well, this is the infinite wisdom of the administration. FBI nominee Kash Patel warned Elon Musk is becoming one ginormous trust, unquote. I mean, this is so funny. Now, obviously, these are all Republicans, MAGA, Trumpsters, right-wing alt, and then the extremists. And then obviously, there are also some, I would say, establishment Republicans. So they're having this infighting right now. And that's what nominee of FBI Kash Patel said. And you can see he is furious, and he did his podcast, and I'm sharing all of this news here. And I would just quote Patel, and this is the nominee for FBI, quote, "So what scares me is, like Patel continued, you want to talk about a monopoly," unquote. And obviously he's talking about, for lack of a better word, a monopoly. So this is, again, he is saying about this, Kash Patel, nominee for FBI, on his podcast recently. And he also said, quote, what's he going to do with all the data, unquote. That's my concern, unquote, Patel said. He said, quote, the data collection, he's got a global Wi-Fi satellite system in space for the world, Starlink. He has Tesla. He has, as I said, a SpaceX program, and now he will have Twitter, unquote. That's what he said in the past as well. So again, go ask the FBI nominee, Kash Patel. He's from his party. His president has nominated him. And I would end with this note before we sign off, that fit for a prince. Obviously, Saudis cannot be left out of the conversation. They are everywhere, because obviously this government is by the billionaires, for the billionaires, and of the billionaires. So Saudis are billionaires. So obviously, how can we leave them out? I think it would be very discriminatory. So fit for a prince. River Oaks, this is right here in Houston, this area, River Oaks Estate sells for millions after years in market. So this was vacant for, I think, 10 years. So the home at 1000 Kirby Drive, which was originally listed in 2017 for 20 million, was most recently listed for 13.9, almost 14 million. However, transaction details were not released in recent years. The sprawling 22,800 square foot mansion saw several price reductions. Texas is a non-disclosure state, so sales information is not required to be publicly disclosed. The 3.1 acre property was listed by two top Houston real estate agents. So their names are there. And then obviously, who are the new owners? CEO of Bestway Oil Field. Obviously, it's all about oil here. So Ronnie Duary, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, and his wife Laura bought the property in 2024. So congratulations to both of them, according to an interview Risk gave to the Houston Business Journal this week. The Duary family plans to update the 1980s estate. The home is gorgeous, quote, the home is gorgeous, but it was built in the 1980s. And the buyers went to breathe new life into it, unquote, Risk said, per HPJ Houston Business Journal. This is a 10-bedroom and 15-bedroom home, was constructed for the prince, Saudi prince, and his family as a place to stay while he was in town for business. Obviously, he saw something, and then if you saw something, and if you see someone, if you see a woman, then obviously Saudi princes, they cannot hold themselves back. They bought it. in this case, this property. The construction is estimated to have cost approximately $25 million. So congratulations to this. So I just want to share this on an interesting note. And without our supporters, our advertisers, not obviously, without them, we cannot do this program. So Affordable Insurance of Texas, AITinsurance.com. If you are looking for auto insurance or commercial business insurance and homeowners insurance, contact them 713-785-4000 or visit them on the web, AITinsurance.com. Roop Sardi Palace, roopsardi.com. They are in Houston, Greater Houston area, close to Harvin, on Harvin Street at Hillcroft, roopsardi.com. That's their web address. And men's trendy outfits, new arrivals, and for women and even for men, shalwar, kameez, kurta, pajamas, and sherwanis, these formal dresses, they got it. And then obviously you got to eat an authentic Mediterranean cuisine at Demasi's restaurant, demasis.com. Visit them. And they have many locations in Houston, Greater Houston area. And you can check out their locations by going to find a location on their website, demasis.com. That's authentic Mediterranean cuisine at Demasi's restaurant, from kebabs to lamb shanks to all different kinds of salads. So with that, I'm signing off. Again, I report, you decide, and we live in this free country where hopefully we'll continue to have freedoms to share the news as well, because the mainstream media, they're still trying their best to share information, but you get the right information with the facts and with the right political analysis and opinion until we have freedom of speech, unless Elon Musk would like to take that away as well. With that, I'm signing off, and enjoy. And again, we survive another day in this Trump administration. Hopefully we'll survive another 4 years, and it's counting. So that's good news. So there's always hope and obviously optimism. So with that, please share this, subscribe if you have not, and then join my YouTube channel as well, Zishan On Air, and we'll continue this program right here on the airwaves. And again, signing off, and please tell your friends, share and subscribe. That's how I and my team, we will continue to bring you the information and the news, facts, as well as political analysis that no one would like to discuss and talk about the way, as humans, as American citizens, as concerned citizens, because we care for our country and we want to make sure that right decisions and well-informed decisions with empathy are made. So with that, I hope you did something productive, and I hope we should go and ask Mr. Elon Musk, that what did you do last week as well, other than made some more billions of dollars, which my opinion and my suggestion to him would be, why don't you invest some of that money into some philanthropy work, give some money to the federal government as well, if you're so patriotic, and obviously try to make things more productive, and try to retrain these federal employees as well. Not everyone is a con artist and working for the federal government. So that is something that I think should be asked by people. But then again, we live in a world where no one asks the right questions, and no one would like to talk about these things, because these are very powerful people. They got a lot of money, and people are scared. But if we are scared, then we are dead. So might as well be dead if we are not going to ask the right questions. So thank you so much, and continue to support us, continue to support me, and pray for me and for my family. And please share this with your friends and family and neighbors. With that, we'll sign off, and then I'll see you on social media next Sunday, right here on our social media platform. Thank you.